And there's no better way to reach you than get you a cup of coffee. So I'm Tom West, one of the co-owners here at Long Beach Coffee and Tea.
My name is Shannon Francis. I'm the co-owner of Long Beach Coffee and Tea on 5th and Pine in downtown Long Beach. I kind of did things backwards. Our kids are grown, and we were sitting down over a bottle of wine one night, and we both said, what do we want to do with our lives? We love outreach, we love philanthropy, so the coffee shop it was.
We've got these crazy ideas in what the use of that coffee shop is.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you sit down over a cup of coffee and just ask somebody their name.
It's the most social thing on planet Earth. We don't care what your color is, what your religion is. We don't care what your orientation is. Everybody that comes in here has a name, and everybody's treated exactly the same way. And so for the last 2 years, that's what we've been building. The result of which now is really kind of special to us, because we are now the first nonprofit coffee roaster in all of America. 100% of our profits from our coffee will go back to our veterans to try to cut down into 22 suicides a day.
And we tied in veterans because Tom's a veteran himself. We're right across the street from the recruiting offices. We know a lot of veterans, and the mission itself, there's too many that commit suicide, 22 a day, and it's not talked about enough. There's not enough effort put into it, or maybe just looking at the system, what we're doing now, it's not working. So let's recreate it.
That's our mission. But we want to get those veterans when they leave service, not leave service, go to the streets, experience hardships. We want to get them as they leave service. They come to us for 6 months. They get a job. They get a roast coffee. They get start to have some success in their lives and deal with all of the other services that they need. So that's our big mission. So the first time we heard about COVID was on the news when it was coming over. I think it was like early February.
And being a business owner, that's extremely scary. Places were shutting down. We had to find new ways of doing things.
Personally, it was stressful, depressing. You felt defeated, seeing that there was no customers coming in, thinking that everything we put into this business now was just going to go away. That we took a 10-day kind of health check, sanity check, and came back with saying, all right, we're going to do this a whole different way and reinvent ourselves. And we put together an online ordering system, and we didn't want to use the big companies. So we worked with Rob Smith. You know what? He's struggling, we're struggling, local to Long Beach. Let's all put our heads together and try to figure out how we can reach those customers that don't want to come out.
There's a lot of hungry bellies on the street. Our fridge is always full of food that we hand out to the homeless, and they were really impacted because a lot of them had no idea what was going on. They're like, why can't we come in anymore? They don't have access to the news. So we got creative. We found new ways of doing it, and then these protests started happening.
We watched families walk down there, women and children. Everybody was participating. We were outside. Don't stop. It's beautiful and it's amazing and it's really, really needed. What came after that had nothing to do with that. It was some of the ugliest things, and I'm a combat veteran. I've seen some ugliness. That was ugly. Because you have all these minority businesses up and down here that were getting hammered.
The level of anxiety that I felt is like nothing that I've ever felt before. Just trying your hardest to hold on to something and then knowing that it could go up in flames, because of this ugliness that's happening. And in fact, it did happen to a lot of other businesses.
So yeah, we had a number of our friends came down, and we did in fact guard this shop. But we also had so many people just that we feed every day, pushing shopping carts coming up here to protect it. Because they get their clothes here, they get their food here, they make phone calls here, they can use a laptop here. It's just part of their home.
So Tom and I have finally established our nonprofit. In fact, in light of everything that's been happening recently, it kind of fast-tracked it. But that has always been our main goal.
Our nonprofit will be self-sustaining. So you got subscription money that comes in with the coffee, right? That money that comes in pays those veterans that are transitioning to learn how to roast coffee, ship coffee, do logistics and supply chain, which vets are very good at.
and through the sales of our coffee subscriptions that veterans roast this coffee, the revenue continues to help them.
Where we at right now is we're going to get our coffee to market. We want to do a nationwide, we have press releases done, we're going to do a nationwide push. We have a couple interviews set up on that. And the next step is to build a ranch in northern Arizona, which is accessible to any veteran. There's 25 tiny homes on it. You come to the ranch, get a home. You get all your service connections. You get checked out. We get to start working on things that you need to work on. But the most important part, for 6 months, you also have a job. And you get paid for it. So by the time you leave the ranch, you've worked on your marriage, you've worked on your service connections, you've worked on everything you need to know. We've got a great team put together who's going to run with this. And once again, we're not looking for, don't donate money to us. Just buy our coffee. It's going to be roasted by a veteran and shipped by a veteran and these that need it. And allow you to earn it. Kind of a different concept. You know, every year we're not writing grants. We're just selling coffee in an $11 billion industry. And then at the end of it, if you choose, you can stay at the ranch and continue to work, or we can transition you. Wells Fargo's come in, and at the end of it, they're going to work with each veteran on all their financial, money management skills, and purchasing a home that they can afford, so you start off being successful.
The biggest thing, subscribe to our coffee. I mean, that in itself supports our mission, and the more we sell, the more veterans we get to help. You want to come and eat delicious food, it's all homemade, from scratch. Our website's very detailed. It actually gives a pretty good overview of what we do and what our mission is.
On the shop itself, just believe we're doing the right thing. Come in and support us just by being a customer. And then while you're here, keep your mind open enough. Maybe there's something you'd like to volunteer for. Maybe there's some lives you would like to impact. You know, we have on average maybe 20, 30 coats and blankets and shoes and hygiene kits are always coming in. And I love it because it's anonymous. You give me a coat, there's going to be somebody down the street wearing it that you didn't get. You didn't pose with the check. You did it because you had a big heart and you wanted to help somebody out. That's the main focus of what the shop is, right? So the nonprofit is an extension of that. Separate from Long Beach Coffee and Tea, because the coffee itself needs to go back to those veterans, back to that housing, and continually support the program. But this will always be